Welcome to another mega exciting 5-minute auto pairing. So YK Junior, let's try a solid Slav triangle for a laugh, or not so much of a laugh. Let's see if I can play it dynamically, or even because he's closed in the bishop. I think Aronian has sneaked in the Dutch Stonewall transposition sometimes. Let's try and sneak this in here to stop e4. Can I get away with this? If I control the e5 square, doesn't look too bad. Go in here, try and get this F file open. I'll try for a standard kind of. He's giving me a pawn. I can't see the problem in taking that pawn. Should there be one? Is it a sort of dynamic pawn sacrifice? It does seem to be a pawn. My bishop's still bad, though. I'll try and wriggle it out like to h5. A classic maneuver. He's got that e5 square and actually be threatening to win the exchange with knight d7 if I'm not careful. So I'm going to have to play rook d8, I think. No, there's no knight e5 at the moment anyway. The thing is, how do I win this? How do I actually win this? I need a plan. He's got certain queenside pressure here, certain compensation. Bishop e2, queen e2, but it's a forcing move to bear in mind, just out of interest, that diagonal. g5 for f4, g5 for f4, he's got bishop e4 at the end. And mind you, bishop e2 comes in handy then. So maybe I can try it. Playing for f4. Okay, knight d6 here, try and get a knight to c4. Would he be giving me a nice knight on c4? Now if he takes, well, okay. Nice pressure on e3 he has to deal with. That's b5 after an a5. I think I've got a queenside plan here going. If he's going to be tied down to e3. So b5 just to lock that knight, I think, for a moment. Then a5 and try and come down the queen side. That looks pretty nice. Oh, he's given me a5, so rook a3 now is a forcing move. He's sacrificing the exchange. That can't be sound. Let's hold that pawn. And now he's on c6. If I take, will he take with the rook? If he takes with the rook, it's another isolated pawn here. Now he's tied me down to e6. This isn't so easy. Can I kick the queen away from there? If I can get queen d4 check in. Maybe even not c5. We're on this rook. So this entrance of the rook over here, or queen d4. Don't see how it's handy at the moment. There's bishop f7 if I want to come back. No, this still needs something to progress this position. He's got some points here. This bishop's quite good. He's only the exchange down. I need to prove I can get more from this now. That a2 pawn, there's queen d7, it comes at a price. Rook f8. I think that's dangerous to take on a2, glaring it as king. If he takes on c6 after, well, I can get a tempo here for queen d4. There's always bishop f7 to this queen e6 if I need another tempo. Bishop e2, rook f2. There's rook d1 there. He checks. It's queen c8. I think bishop e2 for rook d1. Check king g7. I think rook d1. That's a nasty pin on the knight. So bishop e2 was handy. It was worth making a note of that mentally, I think, earlier. The bishop e2 possibility. You know, just when the right configuration for it to be effective emerges, you've made a mental note of such forcing moves. And here rook d1 seems good. There's the check, king g7, and where can the queen check after? And the king's going to go to a safe place. And I think I'm trying to win another exchange, basically. Or rook f2, rook d1 does seem, I don't know what he does there. It's making that pin more effective if the rook goes to f2. It's given me another exchange. I think I should take it, although this knight e5 is dangerous. Alternatively, bishop f3 and queen d4. I think taking another exchange. Then what though? Bishop takes f1. I can't see anything forcing a knight e5 is occurring. So bishop takes f3 instead. Bishop f3, queen d4, king h1. Then what? Or even queen h6 as h4. King h1 there. Can't see it. I think I should, in principle, win this other exchange. I know knight e5 is a little bit of a concern. What about just queen b2? If queen e6, king h8, then he has to do with queen f2 check. I think queen b2 might be the move here. Yeah, I'll give him a dangerous check. One dangerous check with a pawn, but this battery looks pretty dangerous. Controlling f6. He could play queen e5, but he's 2 exchanges down. So queen e1 now. He's defending. All this one. And that's a real pain. To say the least. Oh. I thought this is tricky. So rook, what about rook a3? Is the queen overloaded at all? And queen e7. He's going in for the attack. Right, let's wait for knight e5 for queen d4 for a sec. We'll push this back to protect the rooks. Yeah, this is tricky. This is now really getting tricky. I don't know. 2 exchanges down, but it doesn't seem that clear. Let's just defend my king. Am I falling into something horrible? Like knight f7, king g7. I'm going to lose an exchange soon. Oh man, these 2 minor pieces. This knight is an irritant. It's got to be said. If I go with this, there will be a pin at knight f7. There's no bishop c4, thankfully, at the moment. Okay. Oh dear. Can I go for this queen a7? Queen a7 to try and get the queens off? It doesn't really.
Check.
Oh.
Check.
Oh, he's got good compensation for the exchange. I've got his... I can simplify this. Try and bring my king in.
Check. Check.
That's what think it's a pre-move situation.
Check. Check. Check.
Whoa, that was a big fight. Oh, blimey. I didn't see anything that easy to finish him off. I think his exchange sacrifices... Yeah, his exchange sacks in a 5-minute game didn't seem... I mean, the pawn loss should have been easier than it was. I don't know. Rook c4 is actually giving us the engine's best move here, rook c4. Otherwise, I am just slowly increasing my advantage. I think he did the right thing in sort of tell manner to sort of not accept a very clear position. I did the right thing to take here. I just couldn't see it. I couldn't see it here. Rook d1 was given not queen b2. So rook d1. What's the threat? Let's say this happens. 95. Oh, apparently queen d8 is good, yeah. So rook d1, maybe pin and win principle. Rook d1 seems good.
Check.
So this one I'm still up a little bit. That dropped a bit there. Still up. Still up. Now is rook a8 mentioned? No, rook d2 here. I'm just without a plan. I'm just without a plan.
Check.
Now here, okay. I am still okay here. I think I just simplified, yeah, to be. It's easier to play now.
Check. Check.
It's a little bit easier to play. Okay. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.